Alright. What's up, everybody? We've got ourselves a big best of 3 series. Solar, the favorite in Group A here at Katowice. It's a group stage match, best of 3 between him, transferring drones to the natural against HeroMarine. Biggest Gabus, the man who beat Solar in the quarterfinals, 3 wins to 2. And I think it was a bit of a reversal. I think Solar beat him in the first 2 maps, didn't he? Or actually, did HeroMarine 3-0 him? I think it was a pretty close series. I remember that one was back on like Babylon and those sorts of maps, I believe. Maybe even pre-Babylon. It was a very fun series where HeroMarine caught him off with some timing attacks. I think he finished him off with an 8 racks on one of those maps that had like rocks just out front your natural. Can't remember the map name. Maybe Babylon, maybe a different one. But it was actually a really cool series they played. Solar was pretty gutted in that one to miss out on the semifinals, and everyone was shocked to see HeroMarine get that semifinals. But 2 years later, Katowice again, it's the group stage, and Solar comes in as an overwhelming favorite. HeroMarine, I talked to actually Cyril before this series, and I was like, yeah, you know, HeroMarine, he had a good start to the tournament, took down some players, took down like Spirit, it's looking pretty good. And Cyril was like, oh yeah, but I don't think he can beat Solar. You know, HeroMarine is like not really playing much outside of his streaming. And I've actually asked HeroMarine since the tournament. He said, oh no, I did 0 practice since the tournament. Off stream. I only play on stream. And he is also back in university right now, part-time, studying some courses. He also told me his preparation for this tournament was maybe not optimized. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I spent the weekend right before I flew out making 200 pizzas for a Take TV event rather than actually playing any games. And I'm like, what the hell? So there was this weird aura of like HeroMarine came into this tournament kind of unprepared, but super relaxed with the biggest muscles I've seen on the young lad in a while. Seemed like he's a bit more gym focused than practice focused, yet he'd already beat Spirit and I believe one other player in this group when he goes into this match. So it's kind of crazy to see the 2 guys leading the group stage, one who doesn't seem to care at all, and HeroMarine is just super relaxed for once. Most Terrans, usually the problem is their own internal stress, I think. And Solar coming in super laser focused, of course, off some glorious victories recently. 44 drones to 34 in Solar's advantage. Solar with that GSL championship, what we're referencing, of course. Banshees and Cloak on the way for HeroMarine off a 3cc. Pretty standard opening for him as he goes for a quick third gas. Mech? Hello? My man, second factory goes down. Okay. HeroMarine says, let's do some Mech. Cyril did mention that's basically all HeroMarine's been practicing on the ladder. I wonder if Solar's privy to that information. Aliens coming forward, the Reapers as well. Queen's moving forward. So I was having this discussion, like I said, right before this series happened at the event with Cyril, and I was like, well, you can't really play Mech multiple games in a row though, can you? And Cyril was like, And we both kind of had a moment. We stopped and we thought, and we both said 8 racks at the same time as each other. And I felt more in sync with Cyril than I ever have in my entire life. We were like, well, basically an 8 racks is a really good build. If you're not particularly well practiced, Mech and 3 base all-ins, where you don't fully build the workers for your third, you just go 8 racks and try to kill them. Those are the 2 sorts of builds that are very... not easy, but yeah, easy. Easy is a decent word. It's kind of like playing pure Skytoss against Zerg. It's a massive gamble, but if it catches them off guard, it can work really well. Now, I would say the Mech takes a lot more refinement than the 8 racks, actually, because there's so many details to playing the Pacer Mech with when you push, where you push, and not overcommitting, that a lot of players screw up. Hellions on the right, clearing creep. Banshees deny the hatchery. Solar tries to rebuild it. Oh, can he get a second cancel? Oh, he gets a kill! He gets a kill, and the Hellions continue on the right side as well. Getting 5 drones and a hatchery kill, make it 6. Not half bad, and the drones kind of clumped up over there. The Hellions are rotating. Looks like he might be able to get... No, he's just going to go for another drone or 2. Not a bad idea. It does get 1 more drone. 7 drones in total, a hatchery kill. And he's still building Banshees. 4 Cyclones building. 3 factories are on the way right now. We've got more barracks and factories building. Right now, Hydra upgrades are on the way. That's weird. Roach Hydra. I guess he just wants to deal with the Banshees. Solar seems to realize it's Mech. He scouted it with that Overseer. He's not droning right now. Guys, he lost a lot of drones. He's not replacing them all. Okay, Solar is just going all in on Roach Hydra. And he's even in the middle of the map, which is usually not a good idea. He does ambush a Hellion or two, but the Cyclones should be able to punish him. Banshee's coming in as well. HeroMarine will punish these Roaches for being so far out without Roach speed. And a couple of these Roaches will fall. But you got to be careful because right now you have no tanks as HeroMarine. And tanks are what keep you alive against a Roach Hydra push. Cyclones rallying in a little bit awkwardly. One of them does go down. Queen Hydra, not something you want to fight with those Banshees. Hyperflight Rotors and Cloak is done. Meanwhile, it looks like Hydras do not have the movement speed upgrade. That's going to be essential. If he wants to shove in with Roach Hydra, that's his all-in timing. He's going to wait for that to finish and then shove in for the win. 4th Command Center is already building, though. And tank production does start. 1 tank has started. 2 more tech labs are now up. If HeroMarine can get out 3 or 4 tanks in front of these units, this could be massive. Banshees rotating. They find 2 drones. He doesn't see a hive, which is a bit of a tell, I'd say. Seeing nothing but Roach Hydra come out, no hive. It's such an unexpected timing attack, though. Solar doing this reactively. Solar is the master of slapping down Mech before it gets going with just big Roach headbutts. Normally, he does Queen drops or Nidus Worms. But in this case, it's just a basic Ravager Hydra push. Oh god, that tank's way too far forward. But the Ravagers don't drop Biles in time. The Hydra movement speed isn't done yet. The Cyclone's getting some great kiting off against that. Banshees come in from behind, but the Overseer is there. Those Banshees can't fight. No. HeroMarine tries to bring the Banshees in, but he's getting broken by the looks of it. The Banshees pull to the right side. They need to deal with the rally point. They can 2-shot Roaches or 3-shot. Unfortunately, missing that 4th Banshee does lower their lethality, but he's going to keep damaging these Roaches that are rallying. Queens are walking across the map as well. As I said, Solar loves to just all in with Roach Queen. It's his favorite thing to do, to not let a Mech player even get started. But look at that Command Center walling off. Tanks are there. I would love to see HeroMarine move that Command Center a bit further north or south to fully wall this off. But he's not done it. Vehicle plating's on the way for HeroMarine. Oh god, it's a lot of Roach Hydra. Lings are coming in for the rally as well. He's going to take out the Overseer on the high ground, but there's another Overseer there. If he gets rid of that, maybe the Cloaked Banshees could hold on. The Roach Ravager starting to bile those tanks. They're getting clumped up in the choke points. The tanks are doing a lot of damage here. But oh my god, Solar's broken him. He's broken him. He's got through. Oh no. HeroMarine is up 25 workers. If he pulled some workers off this oversaturated third, he could have held, but he didn't pull the boys. And now he is in a massive, massive disaster. It looks like Solar, well, his reinforce is kind of weak. He doesn't have a lot of units, mostly just Zerglings coming in, but he's still going to get massive, probably game-ending damage. Roach Ravager, Hydra, Zergling starting to cascade forwards, up 20 supply. He's going to gather his forces for a moment. HeroMarine's going to set up that spread, and dude, the Overseer on the pillar. He's going to come in with Ling Ravager from both sides, but building so many Zerglings, it means his army doesn't have a big reinforce of the Roaches. Hellions, very good units here. Depot's building on that left side. That depot can raise up. That will help slow down the advance there as well. Hellbat's morphing on the right. The tanks on the left trying to defend. The Roach Hydra on that bottom left side getting in range. They take out the first tank. Tank on the right does get hit by Biles, but the Hellbats! The Hellbats are actually roasting. Oh, he's losing his last tanks though. The last tank is going to go down. There's just 2 Hellbats and workers, and once again, HeroMarine down 50 supply, and it looks like Solar. Even when it looks like it shouldn't work, he always does this. He always beats Mech just by throwing Roaches and Queens just before they get going. It's the same reason Solar is very good against Protoss. Mech builds power exponentially as its army size grows, so does Protoss, and Solar says, you know what stops that from happening? Just killing you with a timing attack. That being said, these Cyclones are getting some good value. The Roach Hydra is starting to thin out. The SCVs, though, so many of them went down there. Solar is forced back. HeroMarine holds, but he lost his 4th command center. He has 8 factories. He can't support the production because he's only got 50 workers. He's non-stop building workers, Cyclones, tanks, and Hellions. He's only got a +1 vehicle plating upgrade, nothing else. And Solar, he's still building Roach Hydra Zergling, so it looks like he's expecting a counterattack. If he can surround these Cyclones, that'd be great. But he's also going to transition. He's not trying to win with an all-in anymore. Evo Chamber, Infestation Pit, Hydra Den, and extra gases. Hive goes down. A couple of Infestors. Oh, this is so good for Solar. HeroMarine doesn't realize his army's out there. Oh no, he's trapped. He's trapped. HeroMarine's going to lose a bunch of these Cyclones. And look at that, there's no way home. Where's he possibly going to go? Lings are coming in, Roaches and Hydras from all sides. He's doing a good job of at least getting some kills, so he's not trading out for free. But this is a fantastic fight for Solar. And you can see that HeroMarine, I mean, he takes out a Hydra or 2, a few Zerglings on the way out. Tries to micro those Hellions separately from the Cyclones. But at the end of the day, that's a great fight for Solar. He's on 67 workers. He's got Roach Hydra Infester. I don't really know if the Infester was 100% necessary. Now, interestingly, Solar looks like he's planning for another all-in, which I think he thinks HeroMarine's thrown away more army than he has. Solar, this is a terrible idea. You do not need to break the guy that's on 3 base. You need to drone up and get Vipers, mate. Your next power spike is just over the horizon. Solar, very slow to drone in this game. He's still not really droning this 3rd base. It's very undersaturated. He's going to go to the gold. Now, the danger of the gold is if they push the watchtower, they're in between your 2 bases. Expanding to the right is, in my opinion, definitely the better choice. Hellion run by on the right side. Can he get there in time? Only a few Zerglings building. Uh-oh. HeroMarine with their Hellion run by. And you know what? HeroMarine's cut worker production. He's going all in. HeroMarine knows that he's behind. He doesn't want to let the Vipers get out. He's going to try to go in before then. The Lings do surround these Hellions and start to take them out, but these Zerglings have no upgrades. They took forever to kill them. Looks like a Fungal landed. 1 Infestor. 2 Infestors went down. So he's lost both of his Infestors, and as I talked about, pushing towards the watchtower, splitting his army. Solar does not have a big force. Solar has to give up this base, pull his drones to the right side. He just needs to give this base up. He can't fight here. Solar, taking a long time to pull. He's lost 14, 15 workers. 8 of those were in the natural, though. Nice run by Ling Roach getting in there. Really well done. Solar could just jump on that tank and kill it, but he doesn't realize that that tank is in front of the wall off. Nonetheless, HeroMarine loses every worker on his 3rd base. Massive damage. HeroMarine's income is absolutely just terrible right now. Solar! Oh, you can't fight. Solar needs to bide his time. He needs to wait for those Blinding Clouds. With Blinding Cloud, he might be able to do this. The tanks are moving forward. Remember, there's no upgrades on either side. +1 range only now kicking in. The Ravager Hydra tries to split, but he ends up getting it surrounded. Oh me, oh my. Nice Blinding Clouds for Solar, but he doesn't have the numbers. He's got so little damage. HeroMarine's army is so big, the Cyclones just jump on top and absolutely destroy. Solar has to GG. What a messy game, an unpredictable game. And wow, this was all that Hellion run by pulling Solar out of position. That Hellion run by pulled him out of position and wrecked him. Because it pulled his whole army to the right. Whereas if the army was in front, forcing HeroMarine to siege all the way back here or here, he wouldn't have got across the map. But look at how easy this is. He just shoves his whole army all the way through the creep, gets through multiple screens of creep, and doesn't have to siege until he's in range of the 4th. You can't let that happen as a Roach Hydra player. Beautiful play by HeroMarine. Holds on against the all-in, loses a ton of SCVs, but manages to win game 1. All right, guys. HeroMarine in the bottom left side of the map, the red Terran player. Nice mech victory in game 1, Solar in the top right. Now, we'll see if me and Cyril's prediction comes true. Will HeroMarine just go for an 8 racks? Because he can't really play mech 2 games in a row. If he does, Solar will kill him with a much more crisp Roach Queen timing, rather than that slightly awkward Roach Hydra timing. 16 hatchery, up against what appears to be a Command Center first build. Interesting. It's funny, the different viewpoints on HeroMarine. HeroMarine's such a nice dude. I still remember when Take introduced him to the entire StarCraft scene at Home Story Cup as a young 13-year-old who was like in Masters League and trying to get really good. Yeah. And then there's the other bunch of people who basically find him incredibly elitist and offensive because he's very unfiltered in his thoughts, which are a little bit condescending when it comes to analyzing other people's strategy. And yeah, at the same time, I like Gabe. I think Gabe's a pretty nice guy. I think Gabe could use a little bit of a filter when it comes to talking about other pro players, just to not be so offensive in how he analyzes their strengths and weaknesses. You know, like there sometimes Cyril will like be very frank about things, but there's just something about the way Gabe will word his analyses of other players where it sounds very offensive. The man does not have a diplomatic bone in his body, even though he's generally a pretty fun, chill guy. That competitive stuff gets his blood boiling a bit sometimes. I mean, it does for me as well. I understand it. I really understand it. At the same time, I do try to personally, even if I'm going to talk to myself in that context anyway, I'll try to never say it to other people's faces, and I will try to, you know, After being like, oh, this guy's just a cheeser. Oh my god, he's so all in. Oh, he's really a bit of a one-trick pony. I'll try to then be like, okay, but you know, he has strengths in this way or that way and kind of color it a little bit. Just give it a little bit more context. Be like, you know, but hey, everyone plays StarCraft differently. I'm also a one-trick pony in some regards or some matchups or some situations. I try to basically tone down that instinctive voice of super cocky douchiness. Oh, Reaper needs to stop this count. Reaper needs to stop this count. Guys, this is a super greedy build from HeroMarine. He already Solar sees no factory, and he's like, are you going 3 racks? But it is not 3 racks. It's 3 command center into 3 racks. This is the greediest 3 racks play ever. We knew HeroMarine would have to do a style that doesn't involve you microing things in 4 or 5 places at once, right? You're not going to do a Beyond style multi-drop all in or anything like that. I think this Overlord's going to see it, though. That Marine needs to stutter step. He needs to make sure he kills that Overlord before it sees things. Great scout for Solar. Solar sees the 2nd barracks. He sees the 3rd barracks. He should know that this is a 3rd command center. And the Overlord goes down. Oh, he even lifts the command center to hide it. Cute move by HeroMarine. To be fair. Okay, I remember, guys, I watched this backstage. And Raina was in the room. And I was like, why do you even bother hiding the command center? It's so obvious from the barracks timing that this is a 3cc. And Rainer said, he's like, mate, no, that was a really good hide. And I'm like, how is that a good hide? Any player knows that this is obviously 3rd command center before the 2nd and 3rd barracks. And Rainer just looked at me, raised an eyebrow, and said, Zerg players, man, we don't know timings. And I was like, oh, he's joking, isn't he? But then that, like, I just assumed he was joking. And then, like, for the next hour, I just kept thinking about it. I've never asked him. I haven't asked him to clarify. I'm kind of enjoying the mystery. I think he might actually have meant it. He might actually be like, no, seriously, we have no idea what we're looking at. We just do things. I think Solar should know it's a 3rd command center. I think so, but we'll watch how he reacts to see how he adapts to the play. Oh, does lose a drone to the Reaper. That's a big mistake for Solar. And what? Oh my god, Solar, what are we doing? He builds a spore with the wrong drone. I don't know what just happened, guys. That was some of the worst defense I've ever seen. Double Evo Chamber goes up in the natural as well. 3 queens are there injecting. Double Evo Chamber's on the way. We've got the extra barracks coming in. 3 barracks going up to 5 barracks. Man, what is... So what's the follow-up? Just a pretty standard 5... Wait, why? It's all in. It's all in. HeroMarine's only got a single engineering bay. I thought he was just going to go for a 2nd factory, 4th command center, but he's only got 1 EB, which means he is doing the most all-in version of 8 racks. He will not have a 2nd engineering bay. He's just going to make both upgrades off a single engineering bay, and we're going to see 3 more barracks go down at any moment, and he will hit with a giant mass marine medevac timing. And it's a tech lab, so he's going to go siege tanks. You can go Widow Mines with this, but the range on the siege tanks really forces your opponent to fight. 5.5 minutes, and he's already going to 8 racks. Solar needs to scout. Problem. Solar built 30s. Solar built 30 Zerglings. Why'd he do that? Oh my god, he didn't realize that it's a 3cc. Raina was right. Zerg players don't know timings. Raina was right. He massed Zerglings. He's still making Zerglings. He needs to be doing nothing but making drones. Only now at like 6.5 minutes is the first medevac drop going to hit. He's massed Zerglings way earlier than he needs them. Oh no, Solar has completely misread the early game. He got the scouting that he needed, but he misread it. Marine's coming in right now. The Queens are going to push to the right side. HeroMarine just doing light harassment to set up for his push. Right now, guys, he has combat shields. +1 armor has started. I guess he wants to probably fight just around the time that's finishing. Maybe push in even before then. No add-ons on these last 3 barracks. No Marauders. Just non-stop. 12 Marines, 1 tank, and a few medevacs at a time. And he is just looking to basically push Solar's face in. Solar has now droned up, but he's building these drones so much later. His 4th hatchery is later as well. He could have already mined so much more money if he built these drones earlier. Now, from this point, Solar can still hold. Even though he's been inefficient massing lings, he was still on 62 drones. It wasn't a tiny economy. He just needs to make sure he does nothing but masses ling bane from here. Good cancel on the hatchery by HeroMarine, but also good reaction by Solar. And those Marines continuing to just try and be annoying. That's all HeroMarine's trying to do. Just trying to distract Solar. Solar's building more drones. That is not good. Solar has not Overseer scouted. Solar is not Overseer scouting right now, and that's a huge problem. He's had his lair done for a while. He's making 2-2 and Baneling speed, but he's playing completely blind. No Zergling scouts either. And there is a massive Marines. There's 70 Marines and 3 tanks on the map. Hero Marine, oh, look at this move. He's going to try and deny the watchtower to hide his army. Solar doesn't see the army moving forward because the Marines drop on the tower. Solar has no idea there's an army here. Solar's building 5 more drones. 8 more drones. He's making a hydrogen and an infestation pit. And only now is he going to find out about the army on his doorstep. Oh my god. He's dropped the soap right now, and Hero Marine is he's dropped the ball, sorry, that's what we're meant to say. Wrong saying, wrong analogy. Mass Marine tank, this is crazy. Solar goes for a desperate Lingbane counterattack. He should have already been cutting off the reinforcements with this attack 30 seconds ago, but he didn't know about it. Lingbane rolls in. Nice Lingbane roll forward. He does catch the rally. Hero Marine. Oh no, he leaves the door down. Hero Marine. Oh my god, this should have been in the bag. He's got double the army supply, but he leaves the door open and Solar is going to roll in. The SCVs are so clumped. Oh my god. He runs the SCVs from the third just to maximize Solar's baneling damage. Hero Marine screws the pooch. He has to pull the SCVs from the main. Oh my god, this is so all in. He has to win with this army on the other side of the map. Oh no, he's still at 112 army supply against just 56. He's still got 3 tanks on the front line. 1 tank just popped at home. He's finally deflected the Zerglings at home, and he's back to mining with a good 12 workers on minerals. Tank Marine here spreading forwards. Those Banelings, if they can connect with the Marines. Good spready from Gabe, though, at the last second. He's even got a few Marines on that right side, denying the mining on the fourth. Solar just does not have the numbers to deal with that many Marines. And Rainier was right. Zerg players don't know timings. Oh no. GG, well played. Hero Marine pulls out 2 rather simple builds effortlessly. 2-0 Solar. Not the result we expected. Solar reigning GSL champ and in top form. Hero Marine back to university in chill mode. And you know what? There's something to be said for relaxing right before a tournament, taking the pressure off your shoulders and having your best performances. For those who don't know, Marine Lord, in quotation marks, retired from Pro StarCraft and decided to rock up to a DreamHack Valencia in, I think, 2017. And he, I think he got second in that tournament to Nurtio, which was the best result of his career in StarCraft 2. And he did it when he literally seemed to give no Fs and did a lot of meme builds. There's something about a Terran player who doesn't care about the result and is super relaxed that often leads to them having these insane performances. So hats off to Hero Marine, gets the 2-0 over Solar. GG, well played.